Hey everyone, how's it going? Today is Wednesday and I wanted to share with you my cornfields art. It's basically just like most dubstep and most growls that I make. It's made for dubstep or drum step or electronic dance music. What sets this synth aside from all other synths I make is that you can play chords with it. So chords are kind of hard to make when you try and make a dubstep growl, simply because when you have two waveforms on two different key scales going at the same time, you can get kind of disrupted noise. And so I made a synth so that way we can play chords. So I'll guide you through this instrument of how to create it, and I'll also show you how to create something a little bit more interesting when we start to add the modulation A. You can actually automate this to turn on and off, and you can hear that in the demonstration. So here we go. So without the modulation A, we can actually get something like this. But with it on, we actually get something much different. So with that example, I was actually I was playing a C major, which is C. I skipped the middle note, so it's just C and F. No, C, D, E, F. Yeah, it's just C and G, not C and F. So when I was playing that, when I was tweaking the modulation wheel, I was just going up an octave. And I created that example. So let's get to it. I'm going to go to my Reason. I'm going to go to New. And in this, I'm going to drag up my mixer, drag down my sequencer. I'm going to change, before I do that, I'm going to change the tempo to 140. Boop. And now, every time I always create a new document, I always like to start off with a combinator. If you don't follow my videos, what you can do, and what I like to say is right-clicking. What you can do if you don't have a PC mouse for your Mac or whatever, you can hold down Control and left-click, and then release both at the same time to create this menu. I'm going to go to my utilities and create a combinator. Inside this little red box, we'll center our instruments and effects. So I'm going to go to Instruments, and I'm going to choose Maelstrom. Make sure it's initialized, and you can do this by right-clicking the device itself and hitting Reset Device. Okay, so I'm going to attack all the modulation parameters that we need to attach, that we need to modulate our signal with. So I'm not going to mess around with the polyphony or portamento or range. I'm actually just going to boost the index all the way to 63. I'm going to change the shift all the way to 63. I'm going to take the filter all the way to -64. I'm going to take the mod all the way to 63. For our mod A, I'm actually going to turn this off. And same thing for mod B. We'll get to this a little bit later. Actually, no, let's attack it now. So I'm going to turn on my mod A, and I'm going to change it to a rising down saw. It should be curve 9. I'm going to turn it to sync, and I'm going to change the rate to 1/8. And I'm going to change the index to 12, positive 12. And for the shift, I'm going to take it all the way to -64, or as close as you can get it. Reason is a little bit picky because it's either even numbers or odd numbers that you can choose from, that it will only allow you to choose, and it's kind of picky that way. So for now, I'm going to just take out my mod A. So for my first oscillator, I'm actually going to change this to a sawtooth 4. I'm going to take the motion all the way down and the index all the way up. So that's basically it for this synth. For the envelope, I'm actually going to boost the attack to 26 and the release to 24. The K needs to be all the way up as well. Same thing for the second oscillator. Boost it to 24. See, it says 23, I can't get 24, that's fine. For my release, I'm also going to boost this to 24. I'm going to take my motion all the way down for my second oscillator. I'm going to turn it on. And for oscillator B, I'm going to change this to a square fourth. I'm going to boost an octave with it. And for the index, I'm going to make it 83 or 82, however close you can get it. After this modulation portion for the oscillators, I'm going to have the routing go to filter B for both filters. I'm going to change it to an AM, which is an amplitude modulation filter setting. I'm going to change the I'm going to change the frequency to 30 and the resonance all the way up. And make sure it's keyboard follow. Okay, now that we have created our synth, what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on our Maelstrom, go to Studio Effects, and create an RV7000. I'm going to take my dry wet to 22 and my decay to 21. After this, I want to go to my Studio Effects and create a Line 6 bass amp and just turn on the compressor. What the compressor allows us to do is squash our signal so that way when we start messing with it, meaning start attaching distortion and things like that, it won't blow up our speakers or monitors. After this, I'm going to go to Creative Effects and choose Screen for Distortion. I'm going to take the damage to 40, and I'm going to change the damage type to modulate. I'm going to turn up my P1 all the way, and for P2, I'm going to set a dead center, so 64. I'm going to turn on my body, take the resonance a little bit past halfway, so about 69. I'm going to take the scale to 64 or 62, and I'm going to turn my auto to 85. And that should do it for our screen distortion. After this, to master it, I'm going to create from Studio Effects M-Class Equalizer. I'm going to turn on my low cut, low shelf, basically all the buttons, parameter 1, parameter 2, high shelf. I'm going to take my low shelf to 69 Hz. I'm going to bring the gain down to about negative 10.3 and put up the Q to 2. For parameter 1, I'm going to take this to negative 87. I'll push the gain all the way down and the Q all the way up. Actually, let me make that 304 Hz since it's already pretty low. I'm going to change my parameter 2 to 2.585 kilohertz. Gain down, Q all the way up. High shelf, take that to 3000 kilohertz. As low as it'll go. I'm going to change my decibel rate gain to positive 4 decibels and turn up the Q to 2. What I'm basically doing is boosting the really high frequencies that we can't really see and kind of cutting back in the low frequencies. So when we play kicks and snares, it'll fit right in the mix. After this, I'm going to right-click on my M-Class Equalizer and create an M-Class Maximizer. I'm going to turn on soft clip, take off limiter, put the release to auto, and take the soft clip amount to 127. After this, I'm going to go to Studio Effects, go to my Line 6 bass amp, and just turn it on. And there you guys have it. You have successfully created the Cornfields patch. I'll see you guys tomorrow for another amazing synth tutorial. Thanks for following my videos. Please subscribe and comment. I look at all the comments, all the inbox messages, everything. So that way, if I mess something up or if I'm not using the correct terminology, I'll be able to adapt to that and use the correct terminology. Stay tuned for this week. I'm going to create kind of a demo example of what's going to be coming over for the summer. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.